Here we go. This is ESV's Cloud Kingdom, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have our Teal Zerg player. His name is iamamiwhoiam. And spawning in the northeast spawning position, we have our Blue Terran, who we just saw take out his opponent very, very convincingly. His name is Dragon from Team Millennium. Fan favorite.
Yeah, go back to what you said, though. I enjoy casting with Sham, too. I used to cast with him every single Monday. He was supposed to cast with me tonight, but he's sick.
Ah.
But that's okay, because with
what an a-hole.
With rain comes sunshine, and you're making everyone's days better.
Oh, I appreciate that, man. My face is a little bit hot, given that, you know, there's so much exploding nuclear happening on my face, which is never a good thing. But I'm glad that I can brighten everybody's day just that much more.
Yeah. Well, TBZ, I like watching Dragon in this matchup because his Marine splits are really cool.
Yeah, I mean, what accompanies his sort of like fun play, that kind of trolling play, comes amazing micro, just being able to move units around like to the best of your ability, and Dragon's just amazing at that. You are completely right. So, I mean, we'll see how he chooses to use that.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We're seeing the hatch first here from our Zerg player, choosing the scout on 15 as well.
More importantly, the shark in the middle of the map.
Oh yeah, Space Shark. Around. Space Shark. He is the god of Playhem, the god of the universe. Not everyone has accepted him just yet, but here at Playhem, there's only one bastard child in the chat, and that's Tinzu, who worships the blimp. But everyone else worships Space Shark.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a devout follower of Space Shark,
yeah.
And I'd really give anything to continue being part of his cult. But in the meantime, we see Command Center going down for Dragon right now. So both players going for that macro-style game, and you'll actually see quite a few players go for a quick third in ZVT nowadays, which is kind of interesting. I'm trying to remember who played against Cloud in TSL4. Whoever it was, he went quick third Command Center up on the high ground like almost every TBZ that he played, which is really interesting, and I adore that sort of play, because if you know that your Zerg opponent is going for some quick hatcheries, you can get your own economy up and rolling that much quicker, even if you're not landing it. You know, you have SCV production off of 3 bases, mules off of 3 bases, so you're looking pretty good regardless.
Yeah, and a lot of Zerg players are playing super greedy right now versus Terran and going like 3 hatch before pool or just a fast third hatch. Taking that third base very, very quickly. So getting that fast third CC, like you said, is very, very important in this match. And I always see Dragon going for that fast double barracks. Pretty standard. We should be seeing the gas taken soon as well. Start producing out some factories, getting that Hellions. Even though Hellions aren't good at, denying the creep spread anymore, they still give you map control. They still prevent Lings from being on the map for a good while. So we'll have to see what his game plan is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, right now, as you were saying, Zerg players are being more and more greedy, and a lot of them are feeling unbelievably safe ever since the Queen buff, because of those, the Hellions have trouble, denying that creep spread. And so a lot of Zerg players have gotten in this mindset where they're like, I'm just going to kind of leave my Queens out there over at the front. He's never really going to run his Hellions up over to my main. But Terrans that, I was talking to a few players about this, Terran players who just completely decide, I'm going to sack my Hellions, and they just run right into the mineral line, they actually are able to do a ton of damage. It's kind of become this circular thing where a long time ago, Hellions used to be horribly, horribly feared, and then Zerg players just started feeling too safe, and now Terrans are getting more and more out of their Hellions. So, I mean, it's still something that the Zerg players really need to look out for when a Terran player is willing to just kind of let their Hellions go and let them die.
Yeah. It's an interesting meta right now in this matchup for sure. You see that factory going down here for Dragon. Should be seeing that reactor following up sometime soon. Nice Marine force here. I like the T-Rex openings off of the CC first. You get a very high Marine count. It's actually putting them both on the low ground and walling off an engineering bay. I like that a lot more as well. Prevents you from getting any early CC buffs. And then in the top left-hand corner of the map, Unctious, we have this beautiful hidden racks or command center, and this is what Dragon does, man. He does sneaky things.
Style. And if whoiam is savvy to it at all, he should be scouting all over the place. But what's really cool about this particular style is that it like everything kind of works together, right? If he has Hellions out on the field and he has that map control, whoiam might never even get a Zergling out there to really check it. And Dragon, making everything click together wonderfully. In fact, he was going to send a few Marines forward just to kind of put a little bit of pressure on. This isn't meant to kill him. He's just kind of putting these out there on the side of the base just to kind of scare whoiam, force a couple more Zerglings, force some roaches, and keep him from making drones.
Look, Christopher started. We're seeing double starport. This is cool.
There's a lot of roaches. It looks like whoiam is going to go for just a roach baneling bust, man. He's got the 2 bases down, but he's not making any more drones. He's got 9 roaches on the way, 10 lings, and the baneling nest just finishing. I don't know if he's going to be doing anything else but this. This might be his all-in strategy. He says, I think Dragon can out-macro me. I know his name very well, and I know that he probably plays a lot more than I do, so I have to keep him early game, and if I could take him out early game, then that's exactly what I need to do.
Oh no, I think Dragon might be going Cloak first here. He needs to start producing Banshees right now if he wants to have any hope of holding us, and there goes the first 2 Banshees. And Dragon should be fine if he micros this properly. He has to get these Banshees out as fast as possible. He has no clue this push is coming. And we have to keep in mind that base in the top left-hand corner. If Dragon takes a lot of economical damage, it's fine. He's going to be on 3 CC. He's going to have mules. He's still mining from that top left. So if we can get that unscouted and Dragon gets out these Banshees and micros them properly, he should be fine.
Oh man, but here come the Roaches, and the Banglings are going to move in. It looks like they're going to go straight for that middle barracks. Oh, they're not going for it quite yet. Looks like he's saving them for just a little while, and they will not be able to break through. The SCVs are repairing so wonderfully. Roaches dealing a ton of damage to this barracks, and it's going to finally go down, but there are still some SCVs here waiting. But, I mean, Whoami is already streaming units across the base, but 2 Banshees are out in the field, and that's going to do a ton of damage to these Roaches. It puts a huge timer on this entire attack.
Yeah, we should be seeing that command center lift off for Dragon. He's trying to break through the supply depot wall. He's going to lose the one that has the supply drop on it, but the repair does get there just in time. Roaches and Lings are targeting it down. Dragon might barely be able to save it. Banshees are target firing these Roaches. It looks like it's just barely not going to be enough.
He's forcing these SCVs to go back and forth, trying to get the one that they're not repairing, but they do get there in time. And it looks like these supply depots will hold, and in the meantime, Banshee's doing a ton of damage, saving the rest of this base, but it looks like Whoami is seriously trying to ramp up the aggression. He's got a ton of Lings on the way over here, and once he gets more Banelings out, maybe he'll be able to break this wall down, but as it stands, he's only going to be able to force a lift on this command center.
Even if he breaks the wall down, there's already 4 Banshees on the field. This will be cleaned up eventually, and Dragon's got 3 CCs. Here come the Banelings
moving in. The first supply depot does go down, and a lot of SCVs go down with it. Oh man, I'm not sure if Dragon's going to be able to hold here. It looks like he's supply blocked. No more units coming out, but he does have a ton of Banshees on the field, and if he wants to, he can just try to, once he cleans this up, just try to go to the other side of the base, but a ton of economic damage is being done. Finally, those SCVs will clean up the Zerglings, but at what cost? It looks like 27 workers have been killed so far.
If we take a look at that income tab, though, it's 32 to 29 with 3 CCs and mules to be dropped. I mean, Dragon is a pretty okay spot. And he's got 4 Banshees on the field that'll be able to keep defending. Now, Dragon needs to be careful, not let these Lings get the run by they're trying to do. Going straight for that natural base. There's nothing here, though. Dragon will have to lift off that command center, though. If he loses that command center, it'll be so bad. It is on fire now. He does lift it off. Lings trying to get up into that main base again. And Whoami has invested so much into this attack. Yeah, he did a lot of damage, and he would normally be ahead. But Dragon has been constantly dropping mules in the top left-hand corner of the map, that this puts Dragon in a better position than his opponent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, behind this, Whoami is trying to go layer in some attempt to just basically counter his opponent. I mean, he knows that he has a ton of Banshees out on the map, and if he can get, say, either an Infestation Pit or a Spire down, I would imagine a Spire, because Banshees aren't going to be able to attack them, then he can maybe force his way into his opponent's base and kill most of the units in there. But Dragon on 3 bases right now, he's going to be able to get this economy up and running. He's got Raven coming out, and he's got Corvid Reactor on the way, which is not an upgrade that you see every day. But, I mean, he's not looking too bad right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we just saw him start producing Thors as well, just having this heavy Thor Raven Banshee push. I think I've seen him do it before on his stream, and the Thors will take care of any Mutalisk play, and then the Banshees and the Ravens are pretty good at killing everything else. So I think
the bigger problem for Whoami right now is the fact that the Spire's so far away. It's 80 seconds away, and then he has to wait for them to build as well. I mean, he's stockpiling a ton of gas, but in the meantime, before those units come out, Dragon's kind of going to be able to do whatever he wants. And that's going to be the scariest thing about this entire game right now.
I love this decision from Dragon. He pulls all SCVs away from the base in the top left. It was scouted by an Overlord, so he doesn't want to lose these precious SCVs he's been building the entire time there. So he sends them across the map. Nice scans on the creep by these Banshees, taking them out. All these creep tumors.
Yeah, I mean, as we were saying earlier, creep spread is huge in this matchup. Yeah. Like, if you let that creep spread get over to your base, your opponent's going to be able to slam you up against your natural or even your third over and over and over again. Whoami taking this base as he does try to take out the command center in the upper left-hand corner, but that will get lifted off and moved back over to a maybe more defensible third position.
When you see Lings getting into the natural base as well, doing a good amount of damage there, the wall-off wasn't complete. And the problem is that the Spire is now finished. We should be seeing Mutalisk on the way, and Dragon has really no answer to these Mutalisks. He's going to be able to throw down auto turrets. He never researched Seeker Missile, so he won't be able to take him out with that. And he's got nothing else. He might be able to squeeze out a couple Thors here, but they haven't even been started. And there's 13 Mutalisk on the way. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold.
Yeah, no, this is definitely a scary position to be in, and Factory's just kind of, completely being unused. Finally, a Thor comes out, but 13 Mute is about to pop as we speak, and a couple more are going to be able to come behind that. We see centrifugal hooks going down, and another engineering bay, but missile turrets need to go up, like, right now. These Mutas are going to be there in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, the first Thor is on the way. It is almost halfway out, but the Mutalisk are going to be in the natural base very soon. And Dragon had a nice economical lead after holding that all in, but he just wasn't prepared for these Mutalisk at all. The turrets are finally being placed, but the Mutalisk are already here.
Yeah, if they sit in the natural, that Thor is going to be able to pop. If they went for that Factory, maybe they'd be able to do something, but it's more important right now that he takes out this command center, takes out a couple of these Banshees maybe, and he definitely needs to get rid of that Raven and those Vikings, because those are going to be the damage dealers. It looks like the Raven's coming forward, throwing down another auto turret, and it looks like the SCVs do manage to repair that command center. It stays up, and it looks like Dragon's going to hold.
Yeah, he gets that first Thor out as well. I'm curious as to why our third player backed off earlier, but here comes again for another attack. Thor is not in range just yet. First turret is up. Oh, huge volley off on those Mutalisks, doing a good amount of damage, and the Vikings helping out a lot here. Supply 112 to 87. Take a look at an income tab. 48 to 57. Dragon looking like he's getting ready to take that third base. Has a fourth command center in his main. Siege tanks on the high ground. So Dragon is looking like he just wants to turtle up, get 3 bases. He's producing more Ravens, more Thors. This is going to be an interesting mid-game we're going to see here from Dragon. And I'm curious to see when he's going to start his aggression.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be what really changes the game around. But the Mutas come back in over this third base to deal whatever damage they can. There are a couple Vikings here, and a good volley going off, almost taking out a couple of those Mutas, which Whoami can just not afford to lose at this point. Looks like Dragon's going to go ahead and repair, dropping a ton of mules on this base over here. But the cool thing about Dragon's style right now is that all of the units that he has can play very, very, very cost efficiently. You can get quite a bit out of Banshees, you can get a lot out of a Thor, and Vikings aren't too bad for their money either. So, I mean, Dragon, he has 4 bases, he's playing with a very, very good economy, but at the same time, he just doesn't need that much. Once he gets this kind of, like, mech army up and running, he'll be in a really nice position to start pushing out onto the map. But Whoami, in the meantime, might be trying to get put on the aggression right now. He's got a couple Banelings moving in, going straight for this wall. Siege Tank trying to do what it can, but the supply depots do go down, and the rest of these are going to walk right into the mineral line, getting a few really nice hits, and that Thor's going to get on out of here. Ling's trying to block the way so those SCVs can't get out, but they're not going to be able to do it. Thor gets surrounded instantly, and that's going to get taken out very, very quickly. Meanwhile, here comes the Mutas over by that third, trying to take out anything that they can, and Dragon has to split perfectly if he wants to hold over here.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Dragon. He's got his Banshees doing a lot of damage right now. He holds at the third base. Mutalisk are forced to back up. He's going to clean up all these Lings. Income tab. Let's see how many Harvesters he lost. 61 SCVs have been killed this game. Dragon's back down to 53, so it was an okay engagement there for Whoami, but that was just another all-in push that he didn't really come out on top for, and we're going to go back into normal play. I mean, Dragon is on equal grounds now after that engagement. He didn't take too much damage from that all-in.
Yeah, Dragon's holding very, very well over here. Having the siege tank on the high ground helped so much. Actually, both of these siege tanks on the high ground. And, it's okay that he's lost a ton of SCVs because he has the bases that he needs to remake them. But here come the Mutas over on the side. They're going to kill even more SCVs, but if Whoami keeps on focusing over here on these SCVs and economic damage, and Dragon just continues to make a bigger and bigger army, eventually he's going to be able to push across the map. So Whoami needs to be as active as possible and maybe try to pick off little bits of Dragon's army as the game goes on if he really wants to be able to roll Dragon over with kind of that swarm style.
Well, he has to be careful. These Ravens do have Seeker Missile. That's really going to be able to clean up these Mutalisks very quickly here. He's building Hydras right now. I'm really curious about the decision. But we do see Battlecruisers on the way for Dragon. That Fusion Core is very close to finishing. Mutalisk poking out this 5th Command Center here, denying that for just a little bit. And like you said, I think he does need to go after some build. He needs to start, sniping a Raven or two, sniping the Banshees, picking off a Thor here and there. Because once Terran gets maxed, with this insane Raven, Banshee, Viking, Battlecruiser deathball, I mean, what does Zerg do to stop it?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much that they can do at that point. And now with Hydra's coming out, I have to kind of echo what you said. I'm not really sure I like that decision, because even though they will be able to attack air, and this is mostly an air army, not only does Seeker Missile, it looks like these Mutas are going to try to push in, but unable to do anything. Thor was right there. But there's a lot of splash damage in this army. If you look at, how many Seeker Missiles are going to be around, you have Thors out on the field as well. I mean, there's siege tanks too. The siege tanks are going to be huge in holding off any sort of Hydralisks. And battlecruisers with the upgrade, can blast Hydras away in a matter of seconds. So kind of an interesting decision. I don't know if I really like it that much.
Yeah, we do see Lings coming up here, though. They're getting devoured by these Lings. We should be seeing some Seeker Missiles go down on these Mulists. Ravens being conquered. Point Defense Drone does go down. Need to see some Seeker Missiles. There goes the first two, cleaning up a lot of those Mulists here. Point Defense Drones have been cleaned up. Seachank on the high ground, doing so much against these Ravens and Roaches. Another Seeker Missile goes off, and Dragon is going to hold, and this was, again, another huge investment from Who Am I?
Yeah, and somehow he says, all right, I need to get 14 drones behind this. You know what I don't need to worry about right now? Dragon pushing it all.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a cool decision because of how immobile this army is. They are air units, but they're not fast air units, and he's going to want to stay with those stores whenever he can. But look at this creep highway over here. This is so cool, seeing all this creep spread just around the left corner so we can attack that direction, or even throw bases down along the way. But, I mean, Who Am I just doesn't have that much room to wiggle around. Dragon's getting further and further ahead with each push, and even if SCVs are going down, a total of 73 have been killed, by the way. Dragon's staying in this. I mean, 193 supply to 142 in favor of Who Am I, but he needs to make something happen. He needs to make a big push work for him because it's getting... I mean, Dragon's just showing time and time again that he's not that afraid of those big pushes.
Yep. Income tap 87 to 73. Who Am I still has the lead, but he's banging his head against this wall, and it's what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be trading right now with this army because this army takes so long to remax, but he's not trading the right way. He needs to be taking out these air units. When you start seeing some Corruptors in here, you're starting to get that hive. He's got +1 attack on the way. He needs to do something to lower this air count. These Ravens... I mean, Point Defense Drone is going to be changing every engagement if we're still maxing Hydras. They're going to help in the Corruptor battles. These battlecruisers, they're going to change the game. We don't have any upgrades from just yet. No Yamato cannon just yet. But, I mean, we need to see something from Who Am I that needs to start picking off this air army.
Yeah, and no, what's kind of interesting about this is that there's a ton of energy left on all of Dragon's orbitals right now. He could be dropping so many more mules and being ahead, but what I think he's afraid of doing is mining out all of these bases because he hasn't expanded yet. I mean, he has the orbitals to do it, but it's going to be very, very difficult for him to take a fourth with all these units swarming around. And now, Who Am I taking, his own base is another one way down in that bottom right-hand corner. Dragon's going to be getting a little bit more behind as the time goes on, and really, this is going to kind of be all one big push. When Dragon finally does max out, or when he decides that he has a big enough army to come out here, it needs to be sooner rather than later, but if he loses that, he's going to be on his back foot and be in a really, really bad position. It's just kind of a weird position to see him in, because now he's getting starved out. At this point, Who Am I has complete map control, creep spread everywhere, bases all over the place. I mean, he's looking all right for himself.
Yeah, what we need to see from Who Am I is we need to see Infestors, we need to see Corruptors, and possibly Broodlords as well. Get some Queens mixed in, get some Transfusion. That's the best way to handle this type of army. Right now with the Mutalisks, the Roaches, and the Lings, that's not really going to do too much against this push. Yeah, you're going to crush the ground army, but there's 2 units on the ground. You might be able to pick up a command center, but you just pointed out, Dragon has 6 of them. So you really need to start maxing this anti-air army, the Infestors. Get the fungal growth on these Ravens. You land a fungal on these Ravens, that's game over. You win the game. The Ravens are the main beef of this army. It's a point defense from the Seeker missiles. And he's not doing that right now. This is going to be a really scary push from Dragon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, he's trying to come out here to take this fourth, which he's going to be able to do, and he has a command center going down as well. Maybe that'll be a planetary just to try to zone out the army and keep it away from that spot. But Dragon has to really be careful with his positioning, because once again, this is kind of an immobile army when it comes down to it. So if his opponent tries to attack up here and try to take out this planetary, which he might try to do, his army needs to be able to get over there fairly quickly. But it looks like Who Am I actually gearing up for a little bit of aggression. He's got quite a few Roaches out and quite a few Lings. Oh, no, it looks like he's going to pull back. And this planetary fortress is up. And will this other command center become a planetary? Because 2 planetaries are going to be very difficult to break. And now that Dragon's getting maxed out, Who Am I is going to be in a little bit of trouble, because both players are actually banking up quite a bit of minerals and gas at this point. So Dragon getting down those extra command centers so that he can sack all of his SCVs, only use mules, but hold that thought. We got a lot of Roaches up here on the high ground trying to do whatever they can, pick away at this army, but it looks like Dragon's going to go ahead and scan and pretty much scare that army away.
Now, we did see the armor upgrade for buildings as well as the range upgrades, so these planetary fortresses are going to help out a lot. The thing is, this is Dragon's one chance. He's going to have one army. He's not going to be able to remax in time. So the bigger the bank from Who Am I, especially the heavier the gas it is, the better. He needs to start injecting larvae on all of his hatcheries, because in a straight-up engagement, this army is not going to win. But we do see that these roaches are coming forward, going to snipe this planetary fortress. Stores and Sea Shank's still in position, so they will be able to kill these roaches. But right now, he's just trying to do damage and just trade these roaches, and in return, he's getting a second spire, he's building more corruptors. This is what he needs to do, and trading these roaches is so smart.
Oh yeah, such a good idea. I mean, I don't know if taking out SCVs is really what he wants to do right now, because his opponent doesn't even need them, but all these roaches will go down. Like you said, that frees up supply. We have the Spire on the way, and Greater Spire should be coming out as... Oh, Greater Spire is out, excuse me. Corruptors are on the way as well. I was like, whoa, what's going on? Alright, so the roaches do get cleaned up, and it looks like this is a huge number of battle cruisers, and quite a few Ravens as well. So Dragon, I mean, we've been saying it time and time again, this is a scary army. The thing is, at this point, Who Am I can kind of reinforce anywhere, because if he's going for Corruptors and air units, they're going to be able to fly anywhere, and if he's going for Hydras, which he seems to be doing, they can, now with all this creep down, they're going to be able to reinforce anywhere and everywhere that Dragon tries to push. So Dragon kind of missed his window. I mean, he had a good time, but Who Am I doing a very, very good job of keeping Dragon on his back foot, keeping him in his base, and not letting him get that massive army that he needed.
Well, in all honesty, Who Am I's army is not the right composition. You can't have Hydras like this. The Hydras are not the answer. You have to have totally the Infestors. You need to trade those for the Infestors, get the fungal growths, infested Terrans. That's what's going to win the engagement. He still might be able to, but this army is so light in health that just a couple connections with Seeker missiles and it's going to get cleaned up completely. And if you have one good fungal growth on this, like look how clumped up this air ball is from Terran right now. You get fungal growths on that, it ends the game. And we'll have to see how this controls, but we might be seeing an engagement soon. I don't know.
Oh man, this is really tense. Both armies trying to vie for position the best that they can, because I mean, for Who Am I, this engagement is absolutely crucial. But at the same time, Dragon saying to himself, if I lose this army, it's not going to be good for me whatsoever. I mean, he's not going to be scared about that in the first engagement, but definitely engagements after that, something that he's going to have to worry about. Coming out forward, using those Ravens to kill those creep tumors, just scanning everywhere he can to figure out where his opponent's army is, and it looks like he's going to move on to the creep to try to come forward and engage. But it looks like Who Am I is going to be the one doing the engaging. It looks like we have a lot of Corruptors coming out here, but a ton of point defense drones going down, and oh my god, huge explosions everywhere, taking out a massive amount of these units. Who Am I dropped in supply quite a bit, but now he's remaxing again on Hydras. Might not be the best unit that he needs, but a ton of Dragon's army right now is in red and orange.
I want to highlight what Who Am I did in that engagement. He stacked all his Corruptors and Mules on the airball, making point defense or a Seeker missile splash all over the Terran's army. That's why all this is so low in the red. But Dragon's going to be able to repair all this, and without point defense or without Seeker missiles, these Hydras might be able to clean up this army. We'll have to see what they're able to do. The upgrades for these battlecruisers are 3-1 right now. They don't have the armor upgrades, so the Hydras might be able to do enough damage to pick them off, but there is just still so many of them. Dragon cleaning up that creep, like you said, is going to help a lot against these Hydralists, and Dragon can't remax. He's got so low gas right now. This is really scary for him right now. And Hydra's going to catch these Ravens off guard. Oh no, losing these Ravens is not good.
No, he needs to be as cost-efficient as possible right now. Not from a money point of view, but just from the fact that he can't remake things that quickly. But here come the Hydras, moving on in immediately. It looks like they're going to target down a couple of these units, but those Hydras are falling very, very quickly. Dragon needs to be so careful. He needs to use this planetary fortress to the best of his ability. A ton of point defense went down in that engagement as well. A lot of those are just from the previous one, but here comes the battlecruisers trying to attack from this low ground. Oh, Yamato cannons going off, not doing as much damage as they could, however. Who Am I still almost maxed out against the 153 supply of his opponent. It looks like Who Am I is going to move on forward with these Hydras and pick on out whatever he can, and with that, he's going to move on back. Yamato cannon goes down. I mean, Dragon just trying to do whatever damage he can to this army, but the Zerg player is still banking up quite a few minerals.
If Dragon can somehow squeeze out a tactical, I know he's like a showman, he likes to put on these fun games. If he was to transition into a heavy Marauder-heavy style, just threw down like 20 barracks someplace, started building a bunch of Marauders, he could easily win this game. Look at his bank. He's got 6,500 minerals just sitting around. If he were to do that, he could change this game around, but he just doesn't have the gas to keep remaxing like this, and our Zerg player, he's got the entire map. He's not even mining efficiently in the bottom right-hand corner. He's still got a lot of mining left with him.
Yeah, he doesn't even need to at this point. I mean, he knows that he can starve out his opponent. This fourth base is really the last thing that Dragon has right now. His third almost mined out. His natural mined out completely. His main mined out completely. He's on one base right now, and it's the gas count that's really killing him. Now we have a couple Ravens over here, but it looks like another engagement's going to happen. Every time I almost have a heart attack. Jesus.
Yeah,
Who am I scaring me?
This is
every single
tense.
time.
This is tense. I mean, who am I? Still got such a nice bank. Dragon's got so much minerals right now. He's just really trying to commit to this massive air style, and with the upgrades being better for our Zerg player, I mean, Dragon never got the armor upgrades max. I don't know if Dragon's going to be able to win with just this heavy air style. But here comes the engagement. Roaches and Hydra streaming forward. Point defense drones going down. Huge spread here from our Zerg player to avoid Seeker missiles, and the model cannons go down. Hydras are getting cleaned up relatively quickly here. SCVs are repairing, but it looks like it's pushing Dragon back. He lifts off his orbital commands. Now everything's in range of the planetary. I don't know if that's the best decision.
He cannot engage where that planetary is, and without a doubt, the rest of this army will get cleaned up. Another Yamada cannon going down, and the rest of these units will have to run away, but who am I with 1,700, 600 banked up? Oh, Spore Crawlers the entire way back. Dragon cannot attack into this at all. Like, it's so hard for him to be able to do that. He's going to take a ton of damage. He's going to need to go back and do whatever he can to repair, but he's low econ anyway right now, and it's not the minerals that he needs, I guess, but at the same time, he's still on no bases. He's still like running out of gas very, very, very quickly, and he's trying to kill the creep spread to the best of his ability. But who am I now on re-even supply again? So we'll see if Dragon's able to kind of move on forward with this massive battlecruiser ball.
I think he can. I mean, Who Am I's bank is completely gone. He's got no gas. He hasn't been mining efficiently. He never took this base over here on the top left side. There's so much he could have done differently here, but SCV's repairing. Here comes the engagement. There are corruptors in the mix. Point defense drones going down. Those should be enough. Nice fungal growth on the army, but there's only one infestor there. Could have done a lot.
Cannon goes off and takes out a few of those units. Splash damage is pretty big when it comes down to it, but Who Am I is going to kind of move on back, and if Dragon can slowly just kind of move his way forward, he's now finally going to be able to take this base, but that leaves open his left side pretty bad. Luckily, he does have a couple siege tanks on the high ground, you know, ready to go, and he still has a ton of energy on these orbitals back here. He has 4 orbitals just chilling up in the upper left-hand corner of the map. I love it. But Who Am I going to try to break this once again? If he can keep his opponent from getting this 4th base, if he can kill this very, very quickly and keep him on a low gas count, then this is the army that Dragon needs to use. But here comes the engagement. Corruptors coming forward, and they're getting melted so quickly. A huge ground army trying to do whatever they can. The Roach is kind of useless at this point, and not even Yamada cannons are going to be needed over here. It looks like he's doing a good job of cleaning everything up. Dragon looking fairly nice. Spore Crawlers crawling in from nowhere, a ton of them coming out and trying to land wherever they can, but it doesn't look like there's going to be creep down here for them to do that, and the entire army does get cleaned up, except for a few roaches over here that are going to kill the mules, but, I mean, he doesn't need minerals, he doesn't need mules.
Yeah, he's currently floating 9k minerals. I think I agree with you there. I'm going to say that you are correct. He doesn't need mules. He doesn't
I shook my Zoya Magic 8 Ball, and luckily what I said made sense.
Yeah. Luckily, he doesn't need mules at all. But he's gonna keep dropping them. And Dragon, he's in a great position to win this game at this point. I mean, our Zerg player is completely has no resources at all. He's not mining efficiently gas here. He could have this base right here, mining gas there. He can't. He's got minerals, yes, but he doesn't have gas, and that's what you need to kill off this army. And once Dragon gets comfortable to push, I don't think Zerg's gonna be able to stop him. More Yamato cannons going down, just destroying all of the Hydras. Queen's falling as well. And we should be seeing GG soon. I mean, I don't know how Who Am I is going to hold this push.
No, he's not going to be able to do that.
I am confused. Who am I? He is confused.
Indeed, he's like, what just happened to me?
He is confused.
Nothing makes sense. This is nothing I've ever played against in my entire life. There it is, Dragon showing us that he can be non-standard and still do a wonderful job. Somehow able to take that 4th base. But man, what a stressful game.